The Beatles were not just a group, but an iconic and highly influential English rock and roll band from Liverpool that became a household name and is often regarded as the most commercially successful pop music band in history. Their innovative, full of life, and stylish songs shaped the 1960s. They continue to be regarded for their huge commercial success, their role in the history of popular music, and their contributions to pop culture. So in today's video, we are going to talk about how the Beatles songs would have been a hit if they came out today. Stay with me till the end of the video to find out. When you hear the Beatles, you should also hear these four names: John Lennon, Paul McCartney, George Harrison, and Ringo Starr, all hailing from Liverpool, England. As a band, they led the British invasion of the United Kingdom-based bands into the United States in the mid-1960s. The social consciousness improved in the mid-20th century partly due to the band's relevance and vocality about social awareness in most songs. The Beatles indeed influenced the social and cultural revolution around the world in the 1960s. Several factors connected the Beatles with millennials, but one of the major reasons was that their songs preached about love and freedom, which most millennials desired at one point in time or the other in their lives. Each Beatles song has a different story and message attached to it. For instance, in their song titled "Nowhere Man," John once explained in an interview that he wrote this song as he felt he was nowhere and didn't know what he was doing at the time. So most millennials can actually relate to a lot of their songs as it moves people and touches them in different ways compared to songs today, which are more about the trendy stuff with lyrics that could mean nothing with no specific message to pass across to their audience. Another factor that made the Beatles songs click with their fans and millennials was that when you listen to the band, you know that a member wrote all the songs of the band, either Lennon, McCartney, Harrison, or Starkey, and not just a random songwriter who was paid to come up with something with lyrics that would not affect even the band. Some of the Beatles songs for millennials could be "Drive My Google Car," "Ticket to Hamilton," "She's Leaving Home to Go Backpacking for a Semester," "A Day in My Life," "Do You Want to Know a Secret? Click Here," "I Am the Wall Street Lobbyist," "While My Video Slowly Buffers," "Honestly, Honey, Don't," "And Your Bird Can Opa Gangnam Style," "Flying, I'm on Molly," "A Day in My Wife," "Lucy Stuntin' on the Jumbotron with Blood Diamonds," "Here, There, Yeah, They Love Me Everywhere," PhD Candidate Robert, "Hey My Dude," Lady Madonna, "We're Feuding," "I Want to Hold Your Hand," Her Majesty's Instagram, "Help, I'm Unskilled," "With a Little Help from Chandler," Joey, Phoebe, Monica, Ross, and Rachel, "Don't Bother Me Until I've Had My Covfefe," "Here Comes Global Warming," "Run for Your Life to Canada," "Angry Birds Slinging in the Dead of Night," "Got to Get You Into My Wife," "Yesterday," etc. Most of the Beatles songs for millennials were originally part of different Beatles albums at different points in their musical career, with many messages ranging from love, freedom, enjoying life, caring for those you love, etc. Their song titled "Drive My Google Car" tells the story of a woman telling the song's male narrator that she is going to be a famous movie star, and she offers him the opportunity to be her chauffeur, adding, "And maybe I'll love you." When he objects that he is okay with his job, she retorts, "Working for peanuts is all very fine, but I can show you a better time." When he finally agrees to her proposal, she admits, "I got no car, and it's breaking my heart, but I found a driver, and that's a start." According to McCartney, "Drive My Car" was an old blues euphemism for sex pop. An expression was more common in the pre-automatic shift era of automobiles. The song "Yesterday" is a melancholy ballad, a song narrating a story in short stanzas about the breakup of a relationship where the singer nostalgically laments for yesterday when he and his love were together before she left because of something he said. The song was voted the best song of the 20th century in a 1999 BBC Radio 2 based on a poll by music experts and listeners. "Yesterday" was inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame in 1997 and was also voted the #1 pop song of all time by MTV and Rolling Stone magazine in the year 2000, with Broadcast Music Incorporated, BMI, declaring that the song had performed over 7 million times in the 20th century. The song would have been a great hit amongst millennials if it had been released today. They would be able to resonate with the song because they are constantly battling dating and relationship issues with their partners and, as a result, always breaking up and experiencing hard times. Beatles' "Lucy Stuntin' on the Jumbotron with Blood Diamonds" is a song from their 1967 album Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. In an interview, John Lennon declared that his inspiration inspiration for the musical piece came when his 3-year-old son, Julian, showed him a nursery school drawing that he called Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, depicting his classmate, Lucy O'Donnell. His son, Julian, later recalled, "I don't know why I called it that or why it stood out from all the other drawings, but I obviously had an affection for Lucy at that age. I used to show Dad everything I'd built or painted at school, and this one sparked off the idea." Lennon later said in an interview that the lyrics came from Lewis Carroll's novel Alice in Wonderland. Before this song, he had read and admired Carroll's works, and the title of Julian's drawing reminded him of the Which Dreamed It chapter of Through the Looking Glass, in which Alice floats in a boat beneath a sunny sky. Author Nicholas Schaffner stated in an interview discussing the impact of the Sgt. Pepper's album, the song was a great example of how the Beatles successfully captured the way young people were trying to transcend, transform, or escape from straight society, which are some of the feelings millennials can resonate with today. A Day in My Life was released as the final track of the Beatles' 1967 album, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. McCartney wrote the musical piece as a nostalgic recollection of his younger years, which included riding the 82 bus to school, smoking, and going to class. In an interview, Lennon said that the song's first 2 verses were inspired by the death of Tara Brown, the 21-year-old heir to the Guinness fortune who crashed his car on the 18th of December, 1966, and was a friend of both Lennon and McCartney. In his praise for the song, musicologist Walter Everett states that A Day in My Life was the most monumental piece of Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. He further stated that the major sticking feature of the track was its mysterious and poetic approach to serious topics that came together in a larger, direct message to its listeners, an embodiment of the central idea for which the Beatles stood, that a truly meaningful life can be had only when one is aware of one's self and one's surroundings and overcomes the status quo. It was a great song by the Beatles that talked about understanding yourself and your surrounding and changing the status quo, which reflects the desires of some millennials today in their daily living. The song remains one of the most celebrated songs in music history, with several appearances in numerous lists of the greatest songs of all time. I Want to Hold Your Hand is also another song for millennials by the Beatles, and according to McCartney in 1994, describing the circumstances surrounding the composition of I Want to Hold Your Hand, saying, "Eyeball to eyeball" is a great description of it. That's exactly how it was. I Want to Hold Your Hand was very co-written. A whole lot of songs on that list have great storytelling and messages on different aspects of life, such as youth and young adults' lifestyles and culture, relationships, drugs, fashion, mysticism, empowerment, optimism, etc. that would have made them a hit amongst millennials if they had been released today, with their beautiful and intelligent lyrics, stylish chord patterns, and arrangement. With their catchy hooks, great vocals, and easy likable harmonies, they would have touched the right spot in the heart of millennials and become hits amongst the pop song audience. Finally, critics have often lauded the Beatles for their songwriting, production, and graphic design innovations, bridging a cultural divide between pop music and high art and reflecting the interests of contemporary youth and the counterculture. So the Beatles were not just a band, but a generational influence, and if those songs for millennials were released today, they would surely be hits among said millennial. What are your thoughts on today's video? Please let us know in the comment section below. And if you haven't done so already, make sure you subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any of our incredible videos. Keep an eye out for the next video. Bye for now.